Hello, everybody. We are back. We are going to be answering some questions behind the scenes of the Copenhagen Major. I still have a little bit of the land flu, so bear with me. I tried to change the audio a bit, make myself a little bit louder. I know that's been an issue for some of you before. Let me know how it sounds now. I am terrible at audio stuff, so let me know. But we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try and parse through the questions that I got on Twitter and parse through them for more behind the scenes questions, and then we will probably do a future video about some of the other questions. We'll probably try and theme each of these videos. So let's get into it. Here's my tweet. Send some questions, yada, yada, yada. There's a cat, helps out. If there's a cat, people are probably going to ask questions. So let's scroll down. Let's see if we get any bots in our feed. But for now, let's see how it works. So we're going to just slowly go through these. Pyro's first question, Pyro Block X on Twitter. I'd say it's enough behind the scenes, I guess. Given that most teams generally choose not to scrim the APAC and SSA teams, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I don't know that for sure either. I don't really talk to the players about their scrim schedules. Are they mostly limited to 8 to 24 teams in the host region? Does this affect how they're prepared for the matches? So I don't know. I know in the past, in the super early days, even up to season 6, maybe season 8, the scrim schedules were done, I think, by Twitch back then, and you had to play teams. I remember season probably 6-ish, around there, maybe 4, where teams did not want to scrim the OC number 2, but they had to, and they were kind of frustrated about it. I don't know how it works now. I assume people just kind of do their own thing, but I don't know. So I don't know too much about that portion of it. So that's all I got for you. So the first question, I already can't answer. So well done, me. Hippo 1010, and then he has a 2 on his at as well. Who decides who casts what match? Do casters get any say? As of right now, I choose who casts which match and all of that. Basically, I make up the caster rotation. We do the whole caster rotation before the show even begins. So I don't necessarily pick based on the matchups. We basically put it out say we're doing the online qualifier, it'll be the Tuesday prior. I'll give them the entire rotation so they know what they have, but we don't know what matches are going to be played. And the way we see it is we just trust everyone to do a good job. We try and, or I try to at least balance out the casts so everyone has an equal-ish workload. For instance, on Thursday, Friday, it's a very hectic time. Basically, what I did was I grouped the casters into groups of 5. And basically, 2 would cast A stream, 2 would cast B stream, 1 would be on desk for 2 matches in a row. Then that same group of 5 would have 2 games off, so they can go get lunch or whatever, or just chill. Then they would be back on, but it would be different casting duos. And, yeah. But the casters do have a say if they want to cast with certain people, or if we want to mix a match. So Thursday, Friday was very much, most of the casters just wanted to experiment, mix and match across regions, so we did that. So it's not like I just say what happens. They all give me input, and then I build out a rotation, basically. So that's kind of how it works. The only thing is, I leave the grand finals up to Blast's discretion in general, because I feel like grand finals is the big one, so I don't want to be the only one choosing it. So I allow Blast to kind of choose what they want, or they'll get my input, and they're like, yeah, that's good, or whatever. So that's kind of how that works. We'll save this question for a different time about the runs between Gentlemates and Cloud9. Same with the Sam and Mina performance. Let's see if there's any other questions. How do you feel about Blast? Do you think the future is bright for the esport? If not, what would some of the complaints, or would you like change? So I'm not going to complain or anything too much here. Obviously, they employ me, so it's kind of always hard to be biased in that way. But I think the general consensus is everyone is very excited what Blast is doing. It's just because they got it so late, or it seemed like they got it so late, that they're playing catch up a bit, right? So I think this year it's a little bit tougher, but they're slowly catching up, but they're also slowly making changes when they see something is a little bit off. They'll try and make some changes. I think all the players were relatively happy with Blast at the event. I think the only thing that was kind of not the greatest, and maybe it'll be fixed for London, is the practice PCs during at least Thursday, Friday were just out in the hallway. and like it was a hallway that everyone pretty much had to use, so it was very crowded, and it wasn't the best practice space. But I think in general, they're coming in late. They're trying to make things work, and from our side, we've been very happy with what they're trying to do. Just kind of have to give them time to grow and find out the mistakes for themselves, I guess. I guess the one thing that I would like a little bit more is a little bit more consultant on some things, because sometimes there's errors that happen that like could have been fixed if they were just talking a little bit more. But I understand there's a lot going on, and if you try and ask for input from everyone, it's just going to be a mess, right? And it's really hard to parse. So for what they're doing right now, I'm pretty happy about it. um, Let's see. Surprise event. How many people attended the land? How many people were in attendance at the land versus capacity of the venue? I'm not really sure. It was pretty packed in there. I don't know if we ever sold out or not. Like I never got that input. But it was a very like intimate venue. Like there wasn't a ton of seats. But it was a lot of fun. I think everyone had fun that did attend, and it was very loud and stuff. So it was a good time. Like I think this was our smallest venue in a while as well, and I think Copperbox probably doubled the size, if not more. And then Dickie's obviously is bigger than that too. So, yeah. How did the room vibe feel in the final game after Gentlemates won? I think it was fine. Like it's I was surprised at how much fan favorites G2 was. G2 was actually probably a bigger fan favorite than BDS, probably Gentlemates, possibly even K Corp. I think Vitality might be the only one where they weren't. Because normally if there's ultras in the building, people tend to rally against them. But G2 did have a lot of fans there. But I think it was fine. Like we were all like it's hard to tell because I'm on the desk, but I think it was fun. What teams were very close off the field? I don't get to like see the players too much off the field. Like we see them in the hotel and stuff, but I don't pay too close attention. We're kind of doing our own thing. It's from Travis. So Johnny cultivates the teamiest team on the field. What teams are very close off the field? I did always see like Vitality together generally. They always seem like they're very laid back at these lands and just having a good time. So maybe Vitality off the field. The crowd was great. We had a good time. I was very happy that our desk was back on, like in the arena and not like at Worlds where we were kind of in our own area. So that was nice to kind of feed that energy. Do you think official after parties should make a return? In my opinion, those gave lands a special feeling. I don't think that'll ever happen. One, too much responsibility about after party lands. I was surprised we did them for as long as we did, because usually when there's drinking involved or whatever, then you run into problems where a lot of the players are underage, but do they try and sneak drinks or whatever, and that could lead to obviously legal issues and all that. Or if like if something terrible happens, then it's the responsibility of whoever hosted the after party and all that. So you just hope none of that happens, obviously. But I don't think after parties will ever come back. I do understand that like they were, it was special, but also we always did them early on when like there wasn't a ton of people coming to these events, so they were a little bit more manageable. But now it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. What's the meaning of life, and where does Rocket League fall into place in it? 42. 42. Just looking through here. Is it true there's no warm room? Copenhagen teams had to find creative ways to warm up, with Mate going outside in the cold to warm up their bodies with tennis balls. I don't know what the warm up schedule was like. I assume there was PCs somewhere. I'm not sure where they were on Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know exactly where those were. But there was definitely PCs. I would be my guess. But we had a lot going on, so I wasn't really paying attention to all of that. But basically, the Thursday-Friday hallway that we had was now a crowd area, right, where people could walk through and stuff. So they probably had to move them somewhere else, but I assume there was PC somewhere, but I'm not positive. Let me keep looking through here. So I'll answer this one really quick. Is it time for rosters to implode? It's always time for rosters to implode. Like, if you want to make Worlds, if you want to make that push, makes sense. I think a lot of rosters will try and keep two-thirds at least, so you keep your points. But people are going to make a lot of moves. We've already seen a lot of moves happening. So, as we saw in the Itachi interview, what happens when players, casters, analysts swear? So that, I believe we are on a delay. Like a 5-second delay, maybe something like that. Maybe I'm a little off. Maybe it's longer, 7 seconds. And they're supposed to be able to mute them. I didn't go back and watch the VOD yet, but did Itachi's swears come up in the VOD, or did they get edited later? I wasn't even sure. So if you let me know in the YouTube comments below. But generally, they try and mute them like on that delay is the plan. How would you rate this line in comparison to lines in the past as an experience? The experience itself, like, I didn't actually see a lot of fans this time. We kind of were hidden away a little bit more. So I can't really talk about that too much. And also, our days were very busy. Like, Thursday, Friday really, like, killed us in terms of, like, the hours that we had to put in. Basically, the way it worked was, for at least me, Wave, and T-Bates, we would wake up at 8 a.m., we'd shower, get breakfast, and get our suits on or whatever we were going to wear. We get on our bus at 9:30. We don't get back to the hotel probably till 11:30 p.m., so 9:30 a.m. And then I had to write the pre-show and all that stuff and get that done for the next day. So I was like wiped out most of the time. So it was just like nonstop. So I didn't really get a chance to like walk around the venue or anything like that. I also try. There are times when I try and hide away so I don't get sick, but I got sick anyway. So hey, what are you gonna do? What pro smells the best? I didn't really see a ton of the pros outside of the practice area when we had to walk through it on Thursday, Friday. That whole area just did not smell that good. I'll let you know that right now. What's the travel like going to major, and what often do you do before the doors open and after? So basically, when we get to the venue, we usually get there pretty early. We're just waiting on rehearsal. It's a lot of just waiting. We do a rehearsal, then we take a break for like lunch or something, and then we go back and do another rehearsal. And the rehearsal generally is for the production people. Like, it does help us too, I guess, sometimes, but it's more so they get all the graphics ready and we know the flow. We'll like run through the whole pre-show and do all that. So we'll do 2 rehearsals. Then when the doors open, we can't rehearse anymore for like the crowd days. And then it's just like you go get makeup and you get ready to kind of do the show. That's basically it. Where do I get my haircut from? It's like probably like Sports Clips or something. I don't even know. Wait, is it Great Clips? I don't know. So I just get a buzz cut. I'm easy. I am easy. And now this is just discover more. So that's it. Let's see if I can see some more replies. Yeah, one last question. Do you think the arena was too small? I mean, it was smaller than what we're used to, but it was like last minute. Like, tickets didn't go on sale to the end, and like, I thought it was fun. Like, I had fun at the venue. I think it worked out for what we had to do in that time frame. So yeah, that'll do it for me on the behind the scenes at Copenhagen Major. If you have any more questions, feel free to throw them in the YouTube comments below. I'm half dying here due to my land flu. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get a little behind the scenes action on what happens on our show. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for all the questions. Thank you for all the support. And we'll see you next time.